Welcome to the Struggle Bus Family Podcast, where we share real stories from the messy, beautiful, exhausting, and joyful world of caregiving. We're here to build a community that supports, educates, and uplifts caregivers and families of individuals with disabilities and complex needs. Whether you're a parent, sibling, educator, or just someone who loves a caregiver, there's a seat for you on this bus. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Struggle Bus Family, where we strive to create an inclusive, supportive community for families raising individuals with disabilities and navigating complex caregiving, where we ride the ups, downs, and detours of life together. Hey, Jess, how you doing?
Hi, Johnny. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Do you have any struggle, strive, or thrive you want to share today?
I do. So, as all of you know, we have been transitioning care from Tennessee to Texas. And in the transition, at some point, we've run out of guanfacine. And for those that don't know, guanfacine is a medication that helps control impulsivity. So we've been out of it for several days, and it has been quite a struggle. Avery has not listened as well. He's been throwing more tantrums, getting into things like brooms and toys he shouldn't have, and throwing and hitting, and it's been really frustrating.
Sounds like it.
It is hard to be upset with him, but it's equally as hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's just hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully the end is in sight soon.
I hope so. So if you don't know this, when you get on Medicaid, Texas Medicaid is a little bit different than Tennessee's Medicaid. So when you get on Medicaid in Texas, you select a plan to get coverage, and then you have to select a PCP. So the selecting a PCP part is the same as in Tennessee, but in Tennessee, I don't think there are as many plans, and I believe they are assigned.
Okay.
So while he's covered, I'm still in the position of trying to get a PCP visit and that updated so that we can get the prescription for guanfacine. So I would say best case, we're still 2 weeks out.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good luck. Well, so today we're going to be talking about safety at home, tips and tricks and all the things that we do in our homes to, one, first and foremost, keep the kids safe from all the things, including each other.
Yes.
As well as, I'll say a side benefit of not necessarily giving us respite, but maybe peace of mind so that we can rest if we're ambitious, I guess. But at least have that opportunity where we're not worried about, as much about elopement or getting hurt or whatever things they can get into, which is more than you could ever think of.
Yes.
In all honesty. So we'll go through this. But if y'all have things that you do at home, or like what we did an episode recently on traveling that you do when you travel, we'd love to hear about all those things too. So make sure you share them with us. So with that, why don't we get into it? So, I think first, since we're talking about safety at home, we should talk about getting into, and more importantly, staying inside the home.
Yes.
Right. So I don't know if you want to go first, or I can kind of talk about what's set up at the house for us, or.
Well, I'll start, and then you have a little bit more elaborate setup at home. So recently, Avery has been eloping more often than he was before. I think some of that has to do with familiarity with the space and routine. And
Right.
some of it's just Avery being Avery.
Well, and it's summertime, so he's not in school during the day either now.
Right, right. And he has certain activities that he prefers, and he knows which direction,
Out the front door.
to leave to try to make those things happen.
Yep.
So one of the things that we did over the weekend was replace the front door handle with a biometric handle. And I may have mentioned this in the episode before, but we do have one listed in the Amazon affiliate link. I We installed one. I had your help with the first one.
Yep.
That one was not Avery proof or was broken or something didn't work. So
I think it was defective.
it
Because it
yeah,
was the same
it was
one I used, and
defective.
it didn't behave the same way.
So when I ordered another one, I thought I ordered the same model, but I actually ordered one that was slightly different, and it came with 4 key fobs. So not only do I have like the biometric entrance, I have a key code entrance and the key fobs for the. I find those very convenient. Um, we'll see about the efficacy of it. Give it some time and see if Avery manages to break the doorknob. But that's probably the number one thing for me right now because Avery's still so little. It's more My focus is more on things inside the house than getting in and out. And the back of our house has a garage and a garage door, and he can't reach that. So
Oh, okay.
we're pretty protected on both entrances and exits now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just to carry on the theme for that specific biometric doorknob. So yeah, you did mention last time, but I think last time it was I'm going to get one. So now you've gotten it and
Yes.
had some experience with it. I'll say, it's basically the same. It is the same as the one in our Amazon affiliate store and the one that I use at home. It just has that extra feature, the key fobs, and I think it's convenient, but that's why I didn't use it or get it because I didn't want I don't want to have to be like, oh, where's the key fob all the time. I mean, yeah, I could do my thumbprint on ours, and then we have a really simple code, to do it that the kids are old. The girls who are okay going outside know it, but the boys don't. Um, but I didn't want to have something laying around that a boy could get, and because they would see us doing it, hold it up to the thing and like, oh, now it's open.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the only reason why I didn't do that because not necessarily like security through obscurity, but the easier it is for us to do something, the easier it is for them to do something.
That's true. I will say that I did try to go in theme with, which I'm sure we'll get to this, but you guys have a key ring that you keep that has the
Yes.
keys to various locks in the house, and my goal was to recreate that so that all the keys, all the protective things are in one place, but out of reach, out of sight for the kids.
Right. Yeah, and just to recap, so this biometric, fingerprint code and optionally key fob version at our house and yours is installed backwards. So instead of going to in your case, the front door, and in my case, it's the back door that goes to the backyard and the pool because I don't want little boys who can't swim going to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do a fingerprint or a key code or a key fob to get out instead of in. So, that's what we use for the pool. Initially, the deadbolt was enough, but then the boys figured that out. So then I did one of those physical latches up higher, and then the boys figured out that they could just push a kitchen or a dining room chair to the door and wiggle enough so it would just open. So this was like I won't say the best, but the next thing I tried, and we've had the pool for maybe 2.5 years now, and they have not figured out how to defeat it yet.
Right. Well, and you still have the other locks.
True.
In place too. So there's a lock at the top of the door that's out of their reach. They'd have to move something to get, which is like an old school.
Yep.
It's just an old fashioned flip.
Plus,
Yeah.
Plus the deadbolt.
And then the deadbolt, and then the biometric lock.
Right. And the reason I didn't, I mean, the deadbolt's in the doorway, but the reason I didn't take away the latch was because, like I said, these biometric door handle locks are installed backwards. So they keep people in, not out.
Mm-hmm.
So to keep people out of the house, I still want the deadbolt and I still want that latch.
And don't make the mistake of installing the striker backwards, or you will be unlocking it twice to let yourself in and out in the same instance.
And you're not speaking from personal experience.
Not
right?
at all. Not at all.
Well, and to continue on the theme of entry and exit, so in our case, there's nothing special on the front door, but our front door is this giant iron door, and the deadbolt is pretty difficult to do and undo. Although Eli can do it, but the saving grace, I'll say, of the giant metal heavy door is he doesn't have the
dexterity.
Dexterity or muscle strength or fine motor strength to turn the knob from the inside and open it still. And even if he did, our house has an alarm system that is, I mean, you can turn this on, feature on and off. We have it on so that if a door or a window opens, it announces that, oh, the front door's open, or the garage door's open, or whatever. And you don't have to be that elaborate or fancy. I mean, another item in our Amazon affiliate store is these simple little battery powered alarms. They can either be like a doorbell noise or a really annoying alarm noise that we use when we travel. So if we happen to be in a hotel, which isn't that often, I'll stick one on a hotel door. More often, if we're in Airbnb, I'll do it on the doors for that. And they can be permanent or they can be temporary, like when we travel. So that's another option. If you don't have a built-in alarm for your home or apartment or wherever you are, that's another option that's really cheap and easy. And then the last, well, there's two other things. So as I mentioned, I think in this last episode, or maybe the one before also, Eli also figured out, God, why is it always Eli? Eli also figured out how to unlatch and open the windows in his bedroom, which is the back room of the house. So again, there's the pool. And it took me forever to figure out, trying all sorts of different things from Amazon or Home Depot or wherever, to like, how can I keep this kid from, I mean, fine, unlatch it, but not open, right? And he just figured out everything somehow. So I ended up just taking, really low tech. I just took 3-inch screws, and here's where the window slides up and down, and here's the window sash. I just screwed it into the window jamb or frame right above where the top of the bottom window is that he would slide up. So even if he unlatches it, that window's not going anywhere. Which I guess is a safety concern if there's like a fire or something. But if that were the case, we're not going to screw with the windows and try and get out a window anyways, because there's just too many kids in too many different rooms. It's like, it's not like we're going to all run to Eli's room and escape that way. We're going to be going to 3 or 4 different rooms.
And it wouldn't occur to our kids to try and climb out the window if in the event of a fire, they wouldn't understand to climb out the window.
Right. And similarly, I'll say the smoke detectors in our house are such that if one's going off, they all go off. So it's not like if there's something over here, you're not going to hear it over here, type of thing. And then the last, I mean, you've been to the house, so you keep me honest. I think the last thing as far as entry and exit goes is on the garage doors for the cars. I have Genie Aladdin things, which are not in the affiliate store. I'll have to add that after this, but which is good for a couple of reasons. One, it lets me open and close the garage doors from an app on my phone. But more importantly, for safety and such, because it has an app on my phone, when someone opens the garage door or one of the garage doors, it'll announce on my phone that, oh, the left door is open or the right garage door is open. So that I know if it's not an adult that's coming or going, that, okay, I need to go see what's going on and make sure one of the boys, someone didn't leave the garage the house to garage door unlocked or open or whatever, and one of the boys is now escaping because before we had that system in place, that may or may not have happened more than once.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so yeah, I mean, I think that's. Is
I
there
think
anything I'm
that's it
forgetting?
on entry exit, unless you want to hit on entry exit on interior doors.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, one, it's not just. I mean, I think we'll get to the room by room, but yeah. So the interior doors, I'll say
He
for
keeps
us,
everything locked. Everything is locked.
when you're home alone with 5 kids, it's annoying as hell. And when you have guests over who need to use the restroom and they can't go because it's locked and they have to ask for help to
He's
unlock
not
it.
referring to me.
No, it's only everybody same problem. Um, it yes, it's frustrating and it's annoying to not be able to go pee when you want to go pee, but um, it's a lot less frustrating than having to clean up soap and water and have a flooded hallway, which has happened before because they stick something in the bathtub and turn the bathtub water on. It's I can't deal with it.
Or even hiding food or hiding things
Right.
that belong in the kitchen. I mean, we've found knives and watermelon in a bedroom
Yeah.
before, and if they are not able to go into spaces where they can hide out and be a little mischievous,
Yep.
then we consider that protecting them as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, so there's the bathrooms, the bathroom, the guest bathroom is locked. The master bedroom door is locked because there's a bathroom in there. Um, the laundry room is locked because there's a refrigerator in there that the boys would raid, and who knows what would happen. Um, actually, I do know what happened because before that, Eric got out a bag of frozen blueberries I didn't know about one night before bed, and I found it the next morning when I went to let him out of his room, and there was. I mean, the blueberries themselves were fine, but the blueberry juice had stained and still have stained the grout in the tile in his bedroom. Um, and so the laundry room is locked for that reason, and then also because there's detergent, those kinds of things that are not safe in there, and then the pantry door is also locked
Mhm.
for the same reason with the food, um, and then I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
And I have not had to install locks on my interior doors yet. Um, Not because I haven't thought about it, but because I think from a safety perspective, we're okay right now. Now, I do have the child safety locks on doors of cabinets or things that Avery
Right.
doesn't need to be in. But if he pulls hard enough, sometimes those come off as
Oh,
well.
really? Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, we're talking, like if knives, Avery loves to play with plastic bags. And I mean, to the extent that we were working one day and he had a plastic bag over his head and like wrapped tightly around his face. So talk about panic.
Yeah.
But like things like Ziploc bags, baggies, freezer bags, things like that, he will completely just have them all over the house and he
Mhm.
puts them in his mouth and chews on them. So anything like that is put behind a lock.
Yeah. I mean, and we're talking about this under the guise of safety, but it's also like I mentioned, the soap and water thing. Like it's an
Hmm.
annoyance factor. In the case of Ziplocs, that gets expensive over time if he's taking 3 different size boxes of Ziplocs and just like emptying them all over the house or doing who
Yeah.
knows what with them, right?
And
So
our kids happen to love water too. So, the not flooding areas or, dumping whatever liquid is in a cup or a bottle or whatever, anywhere in the house because, Avery does that. If it's not in a sippy cup, it's going to be on the floor or the couch or somewhere it's not supposed to be. So it's you know, but I do have a refrigerator lock too, and that you know, if your appliances come with a built-in lock feature, use it and just
yeah,
get in the habit of using it.
yeah, yeah, and I think so. That's I think a good segue to maybe the kitchen areas as
Mhm.
you mentioned appliances. So yeah, I mean, we have an oven, a microwave, and a stove, and a refrigerator, like I think most houses do these days. um, and for so the water and ice dispenser on the fridge, tends to stay locked, so they can't just push it and have water squirt out on the floor. And likewise, the control panel on the oven, stovetop, and microwave are all electronically locked. You hold it for 3 seconds or whatever to lock or unlock. And then I think what you're talking about in terms of the locking the refrigerator itself, for ours, it's like the French door style fridge. So there'll be one of those. I don't know what you call them.
It's the child safety lock where it's like a U shape, and then it has a little attachment that slides on both
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. So you do that between the two door handles, and that's pretty effective. Um, Although it's got a pull out freezer door at the bottom, which Avery discovered, I think, just this last week at our house at least, and that's now his new favorite thing. So I fully expect to find more frozen blueberries somewhere someday.
Yes, Avery loves drawers and doors,
Yeah.
and between the oven, the freezer, and cabinets, you will find the strangest things stuffed away in there. If you ever lose something, that's the first place to look.
Yes. Yeah. For us, we have a double oven. For Eric, it used to be the bottom oven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just, for whatever reason, that's where everything went.
Yes.
So, which taught us really quick, look inside the oven before you preheat it, because it only takes 1 or 2 times to smell burning plastic or a
Yes.
fire start or something.
Ooh.
So, I mean, in terms of kitchen, for us, I think that covers. I'm trying to think. I think that covers just about everything. Yeah, I mean, there's the usual drawer latches and stuff, which we don't tend to do in the kitchen anymore because the boys kind of grew out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Probably the other thing that's important to mention is like medications. All
mm,
medications are put away or put out of reach. Anything that's toxic. So like Cascade pods. Avery used to be
yes,
terrible about getting Cascade pods and trying to chew on those. Thank goodness I've been able to keep him away from that, so that cabinet's locked. Um, stuff like paper towels, anything that can be shredded. It's really making sure that everything is put up and out of the way and out of the way, and that he can't find something to climb on to get to it. So as you can imagine, the bottom cabinets that are not locked are pretty much empty. Um, and I and then, of course, like knives and sharps and things like that, but I would actually liken it to foster parenting
oh,
because as part of if for anybody who's watching or listening to this that's done foster care, it's the same protocol. So if you aren't sure where to start, a good resource is to look up like a foster care home plan and run through their checklist because some of the things that we do are mimic that list
oh,
because you
interesting.
you do have kind of the range of behaviors that come in with kids in foster care. So it's a good resource that's out there and available, and you can find it through a variety of companies because they all have to do a home study.
Oh, interesting. That's a good resource.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and what you said reminded me that the cabinet doors under the kitchen sink are double, and that's where the dishwasher stuff is, and the dish soap. So similar to that U-shaped thing you put on the fridge. Well, we both put on the fridge. I got that on the handles there too.
Hmm.
So, how about the living room area? Anything you do there?
Oh, the living room. So no lamps. Lamps get tipped over and broken. Right now, no rugs because rugs are a trip hazard for the
Oh,
kids. I try to keep everything lower to the ground and anything on the wall a little bit higher. So no, my house might not be decorated perfectly, but it's more perfectly
at
safe.
least you have stuff on your walls. At our house, except for the TV hung on the wall, there's nothing.
Oh, there might be some boogers and blood.
Thank you. I was trying to avoid the boogers and blood on the wall, but thank
I
you.
only say that because Eric visited the kids visited. We planned a swim day and got stormed out, And after the kids left, I found a bunch of red
Oh, no way.
dots all over the walls in the hallway and on the door. And I said, "Oh, Eric's been here."
Really? You didn't tell me that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say it was Avery,
Okay.
even
It
though it
was
was
too
high.
tall.
Okay. Well, sorry about that.
Otherwise, in the living room, the one thing I haven't done with my current living room is mount the TV so that it's out of reach.
mhm.
But that's for our kids, that's a toss up because they like to throw things. And so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter where your TV is unless it's encased. It could get broken.
Yeah.
But Avery will walk up and hit the TV. And so, he's really not left unattended in the living room just because that's probably where he can wreak the most havoc if he really wants to.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and of the throwing things, I mean, we have, in the kitchen, there's some, I think they're called like pendant lights that hang from the ceiling
Mhm.
above like an island or whatever. And, for a while, Eric was prone to throwing Hot Wheels. And I mean, just luck of the draw happened to hit one of those and shatter it. And, you
Ooh.
know, um, but anyways, for us, the only thing in the living room, aside from hanging the TV on the wall, um, just because our guys would pull it off of, I mean, there's a TV cabinet or whatever below it that has like the TV box and that kind of stuff in it. But they would totally just flip that thing off of there if it were not
Oh,
on the
yeah.
wall. But the only other thing that I've got, and I don't think we've ever said this before, but I'm an IT guy by profession and engineer by education, so I fully admit I'm over the top. um, but we have a sectional sofa in the living room that has motorized recliners. Those that the power to the motorized recliner, it's just a simple like Wi-Fi outlet thing. You stick in the outlet, plug the sofa into that instead. I can turn the sofa on and off with my phone also.
Yeah.
And might seem excessive, but the reason for that is because when we first got that sofa, the boys would play with the buttons on the side to make the footrest thing go up and
Mhm.
down with zero disregard for if any part of their body or their sibling's body or arms or fingers were inside the metal mechanism.
Yeah.
And at least our recliner isn't smart enough to know that, oh, I can't close, so I'm going to stop trying to close. It would just happily slice that finger off.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
And our kids tend to get a little obsessive with activities. So if they discover a button that does something, they will do it until they kill the motor.
yeah, that too.
That I don't find that, overly excessive at all because I know
Oh, just
how.
wait. There's more.
Oh, okay.
There's more. Um, but yeah, what it boils down to is you do what you got to do. I think,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
for your situation, your home, your kid or children. You know, um, so we did kitchen, we did living room. Um, we kind of touched on bathroom. I don't know. Is there more in the bathroom for your spaces?
Bathroom cabinets locked. Avery likes to dump soap and play in water, so very similar to the boys. I have not had to turn off the valves yet in the bathrooms for flooding, but he is also not allowed in the bathrooms without someone in there with him because he falls a lot still.
Okay.
So, granted, I have, one child that's 4, one child that's 17, and my 17-year-old helps keep an eye on things if Avery's not in the same room. So it's a little different than if you have multiples or,
Right.
5 kids, like keeping your eyes on your child all the time or all the children is a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still, Avery's still mischievous and he will still get into anything that he can, but he's also still at that age where he kind of wants to see somebody that he knows and is familiar, and he wants the attention, whether he's doing
Right.
something he should or shouldn't. Whereas your boys are older.
Yeah. And yeah. So I still I benefit from the if the house is quiet, something's wrong
Hmm.
mentality. Because they do seek out my attention a lot. And if they haven't come by to check on me in a few minutes, or I can't hear them playing or something, then I feel like something's up, and I'm usually right.
Yeah. The one thing we haven't really talked about, and I know we will when we get to talking about bedrooms, is some types of furniture.
Yes.
So anything that can be flipped over will get flipped over. So
Or moved to stand on to get onto something else.
yes, or moved. Avery loves to move furniture, whether it's to stand on something or just to move it. But I mean, he's 4. He's the size of a 2-year-old, and he will move something to get on the kitchen island and stand up on the island to touch the pendants that are over um, the island in the apartment. If not that, then when he's frustrated, like with the lamp comment, he'll flip an end table over with a lamp on it and it'll break the lamp, which has happened recently. So
No.
we both have, I would say, a more minimalist style in the living room. The one danger that I have that I refuse to get rid of are my flowers on the kitchen
Oh,
table. But you won't find a lot of glass, like no
right.
glass cups, no glass dishes that are out for the kids. Knives all have something covering them and or are put away in places they can't reach them. Just little things like that, and then
Mm-hmm.
the big things like the furniture. I mean, you really can't be too careful, and a lot of times it's stuff you don't even think about until something happens, and you're like, okay, now I got to do something about this. But we're lucky he didn't get hurt. So it is good to be proactive, but along the lines on the furniture thing is if you have the opportunity to connect something to the wall or bolt it to the
Yep.
floor.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, in our house, like, so Eric's room, for example, um, his bed,
Hmm.
that thing used to get pushed. I mean, his room's not that big. This space is bigger than his room, I think,
Hmm.
but he would push his bed all over the place. So his
Can
bed,
you imagine trying to sleep and hearing your furniture move
yeah, and it's
around the
and it's like
bedroom all night?
it's like a metal frame bed too, so it's not quiet. Um, so his bed is attached to the wall,
Hmm.
and I mean, and to do these things, you don't have to be elaborate or fancy or expensive. I mean, in my case, to attach his bed to the wall, um, it's one of those $5 cargo ratcheting straps from like Harbor Freight or Home Depot or something that I found a stud in the wall and screwed the strap into the wall, and then the strap just goes around his bed frame underneath his mattress.
Hmm.
That's it. I'm going to have to do the same thing in Eli's room because Eli doesn't move his bed, but now Eric is prone to playing in Eli's room during the day, and we'll push Eli's bed to where Eli's room has those IKEA square cubby shelf
Hmm.
things in his room that are probably I don't know 5 feet tall or something, 6 feet tall, which is attached to the wall. But Eric will push Eli's bed up against that and then climb on top of that. So now Eric is 6 feet off the ground.
Yes, yes,
Um, so
just
that'll be the
terrifying.
next project, I think, in the house.
One
Um,
and the difference in beds between our 2 houses is that Avery does have a safety bed. So it's fully enclosed, it's solid wood, it's very heavy. The enclosed portion of it is a canvas. I'm not sure what the mesh or the
I,
netting is made of, but
Nylon
it's
maybe or something. It's pretty.
pretty puncture proof.
It's pretty sturdy. Yeah.
And I actually opted to put his bed in the master bedroom and double that space as an office because he doesn't really play in his room. And because he can be contained at night, there's no reason for me to dedicate a room with just a bed in it for
Right.
him right now. So he does now. The master bedroom has a massive walk-in closet, which I turned into a toy area, and it kind of stores stuff that he can play in there. Friends can play in there too, if he wanted to play in his room.
Okay. And then, I mean, my version of the safety bed is the safety room. So
Hmm.
all 3 boys have their own room, which is in of itself pretty minimal
Yeah.
as far as what's in it. But having said that, they're the same simple bathroom doorknobs where it's just like this little kind of like a flathead screwdriver that you'd use to unlock it type of thing. All their bedrooms came with that on it too. I guess it's like a privacy lock. I just turned all those backwards. So the thing on the doorknob to lock or unlock is on the outside of the bedroom. So when it's bedtime, they go to bed and all that kind of stuff. And then it's gonna sound bad, but they're locked in their room at night and they can't get out.
Yeah.
Um,
And for those who are familiar with kids with autism, this is not an unfamiliar concept because our kids do tend to elope
yeah,
at any time of night, any time during the day. So we don't lock our kids in their rooms as punishment ever. They are not put in their rooms for anything but to sleep, or if for some reason there's an emergency with another kid and we need to separate them.
yeah,
But their rooms are not a place they go if they're in trouble or as a
yeah,
form of discipline.
yeah. No discipline, no timeout, nothing like that happens in a locked bedroom.
Yeah.
So good call out.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, I think that covers bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
What's left?
Any other knickknacks that you use? Why
Well,
don't you talk a little bit about your camera setup? Because I'm totally fascinated by it. The only, so I do have cameras. I use a Google system and have a couple of cameras set up in the house that I can move around and pull up. I do have a camera in Avery's bed so that when he's zipped up, sometimes it takes him 2 or 3 hours to go to sleep. But if he's not in his safety bed, it takes 3 or 4 hours or 5 hours, or he may just not go to sleep. So he needs that confined space to start winding down. But I will put a camera in there so I can watch him and see what's going on, make sure he's keeping his diaper on, etc. Um, and then I also have a camera in the kitchen so that I can see what's going on in there if I just happen to be in another room.
mhm.
But your setup is a little bit more sophisticated. Now, granted, I'm in an apartment, you're in a house. It's a different situation, different setup altogether.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. So it's a good sized house. The yard is let's call it 2.5 acres. So it's a pretty sizable. I mean, the house isn't that big, but the yard and the pool and everything like that's a pretty big
Mm,
area. Um, so if someone were to go missing, there's a lot of places to look before you can even figure out what direction they went.
yes.
Right. I mean, they could be in the backyard, they could be in the front yard, they could be in the side, they could be at the bottom of the pool, and you won't know until you spend 30 minutes walking around the house trying to figure out where they are. So in our case, there's cameras outside the house that can see everywhere outside the house, the sides, the front, the back. Um, just because it's a pool and the boys can't swim by themselves, there's 4 cameras for the pool by itself. So you can see the deep end, the shallow end, the spa, all that kind of stuff. Not that they ever go swimming unattended because they don't, but if someone's missing, it's easy to just glance and say, okay, does it look like there's someone in the pool or not?
Hmm.
And then, okay, no, I'm going to move on and look somewhere else. Um,
And I want to pause you for just a second on that note because I think it's important to call out that if our if if you put a child in the pool who doesn't know how to swim, a lot of times they will be flailing and trying to get somewhere, trying to move, trying to come up above water. Our kids won't necessarily do that. Now, your kids might because they're older and they've been swimming more. But if Avery's put in the water without a life vest, or he doesn't know or doesn't, it's not instinctive to him to try and get his face out of water.
yeah,
He will just like try to breathe underwater. So knowing that the pool is a tremendous danger for the kid is all the reason to have
right,
cameras for a quick look.
right. Well, and I'll say that, the flailing around his side, and I don't know if my boys would do that or not, because thankfully we haven't been in that position. But um, if someone's drowning, you're not. you're typically not going to hear it.
Right.
It's going to be something that happens silently, right? So just be mindful of that too, I'll say. But yeah, so there's cameras on the sides, the corners, like I said, extra cameras around the pool area. And then, like I said, engineer IT guy over the top, right? I've got a tablet in my office where I work. I've got one in the corner of the counter in the kitchen, and then one on my nightstand in the bedroom, and I think that's it. I think that's it. And I can see everything on my phone too. And these tablets just show that the office, the kitchen, the bedroom tablets, they all just show all the cameras at once. So I won't say how many because it's going to be embarrassing for me to say the number. But it's more than one. It's less than 20.
I think it's just Johnny's way of saying he's up for contract to install cameras.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
might be expensive. I've got 5 kids to take care of, so I need the money. But that's the setup for outside, and then depending on the area, like the front door, both for the sake of the kids, because if the boys are outside, if the boys elope, they're going to do one or two things. They're either going to go up the driveway and down the street, which may or may not have happened, or now that they're a little older, they understand that, oh, this is the front door of the house and I can play with the doorbell stuff. They'll go to the front door. So for the front door camera area, and this is a security thing, not just a boy thing, but if the camera at the front door detects a person, like it can tell the difference between a person and a box or something, I'll get a notification on my phone with a snapshot of picture.
Yeah.
And I think like Ring doorbells or Nest doorbells, they all do that same type of thing too.
They do.
So that's a good option as well, I think. And then let's see, I've also got one in the garage, so that similar to what I was saying before, if someone opens a garage door and I get a notification the garage is open, I can glance real quick and see, okay, is it someone coming in, like going to park a car, or is it one of the girls, deciding they want to take the trash out once for the month or something?
Yeah.
Or is it one of the boys, escaping? I can tell that pretty easily. And I'll add that, I work from home, so it's not like I'm at an office during the day, and this is as much as it is for the safety of the kids, it's my own sanity, so that, well, two things. It's my own sanity, number one, and two, so I can actually do work without having to physically be in the living room or the kitchen or all the bedrooms or wherever the 5 kids are.
Yeah.
And then the last cameras are relatively new. There's 2 in the kitchen living room area, which is what really, I mean, it's open floor plan, so it's really one big space, but there's one that points in the kitchen and one points that's on the living room mantle that points in the living room. And that's just so I can keep an eye on the kids. So if I'm in the office working, I've got a TV in the office that has those 2 cameras on it when I'm working in the office. So that way, if I hear someone screaming or crying or fighting, or it's just too quiet and I'm like, something's up, I can glance at them and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of cameras in the house, so that's why I say that was a relatively recent thing, because it's like, well, I'm not able to get work done when it's just me, at home when the kids are at home in the afternoon from school or something. So I've got to do something.
And it helps when, Avery spends quite a bit of time there as we share a sitter right now. And, if Avery's quite a bit smaller than the other kids, but he's showing some signs of aggression. Eric has some issues with aggression. And, a lot of times we don't know what happens until, we don't know that something has happened until after it's happened. And then we don't know what happened because they can't verbalize it.
Right.
So we're guessing, and it's nice to be able to look and see what's going on and feel, like we can be productive and engaged at work,
Right.
but also that we're making sure that if something is going down in the house, then we can look and make sure that, we're addressing it with who it needs to be addressed with.
Right. Correct. And I will say it's also, since you mentioned sitters, like if I have a sitter and I'm not home,
Mm-hmm.
it gives me a way to, I mean, first and foremost, don't hire a sitter you don't trust, but
Yeah.
and we have sitters that we trust, obviously, but it's always nice to be able to check on them. Not that happens often, but like I said, my favorite is the garage door opens for some unknown reason at 8 o'clock at night,
Mm-hmm.
and see, okay, what's going on at home?
Or even just to remind, sitters, like say they run out to the car to grab something and you're not used to closing the garage and locking doors back when you
Right.
come in. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to say, hey, you forgot to close the garage door. You might want to do that and make sure you lock the door as you come back in.
Yep.
Or make sure you don't get yourself locked out as you run outside to do something. And it's like it isn't meant to be spying. It's meant to make sure that that person is enabled to do
Yeah.
the job that they're there to do.
Yeah. I mean, and 5 kids for one person is a lot, whether or not you're a sitter, a parent, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
So these are all tools in the toolbox, so to speak, to number one, keep everyone safe. Number two, keep us all sane, or give us a fighting chance of being sane at least.
Yeah.
So, what else, what am I forgetting?
I think that covers most everything for now. I know the one thing I didn't mention in the bathroom that I don't use anymore is a safety seat. It's a medical grade safety seat, because Avery still wasn't sitting up at, 14, 15 months old, and he has epilepsy. So, he is not alone in the bathtub. But should I need something to put him in, it's a seat that he can sit in that will grow with him. That's another safety measure. And the one thing that we have not talked about, and I don't think either one of us do, just because our kids are, maybe we just haven't thought about doing this, is having some kind of stickers or identification. Like now, Avery uses PECs to communicate, but I have not gone through the process of like setting those up around the house right now because he also has an AAC.
Right.
However, if there was something, that I didn't want him to get into, or if I wanted him to recognize a warning sign associated with something like the oven, so he's not putting towels in the oven. You can also do little things like that so that they pick up on the images and they understand right from wrong, if that's a concern or a problem that you have in your home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, while you're talking, I was trying to think of what would I put near an oven or something like that. But I mean, the only thing I don't know I'd have to look up the PEC symbol and protocol to go. But I mean, the thing that comes to mind is like the sign for hot or something like that.
Or even danger, a danger sign.
Yeah, that's good too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not necessarily safety, but I will say we haven't done it, but we have talked with or the staff at the boys' school have mentioned that, oh, and they offer to do this for us. We just haven't done it because potty training is kind of hit or miss in terms of their interest level, even at 10 and wow, soon to be 12 years old for the twins. But up the PEC symbols for like, okay, pull down your pants, pull down your diapers, sit on the toilet, wash your hands, those sorts of things, and just putting those in a series and sticking them up on the mirror by the sink in the bathroom. Like I said, we haven't done that, but I mean, I think that's a good idea and option for anyone, not just for potty training, but like you had mentioned for safety purposes or just like a warning to the kid. I mean, because I don't know about Avery, but I mean, the girls can talk and tell me, but the boys, they feel pain. I know they feel pain, but their pain threshold seems to be awfully high.
Yes.
I mean, like Eric has grabbed a sheet pan with cookies on it that literally just came out of a 400-degree oven, and I mean, like grab, and I mean, if it were me, I'd be like, I'd be
Cursing.
I'd be screaming some choice golf words, right? I mean, he'll be like, he'll pull his hand away and he'll kind of look at it, and then he moves on. And it's like, okay. You
Yeah.
know, and like in Eva's case, you know, I've done 2 episodes now on the cholesteatoma surgery, which is pretty invasive. That girl does not take pain meds after her surgery, not even Tylenol.
Yeah. Our kids do have very high pain thresholds.
Yeah, so I think those sorts of warning signs, you know, are probably a really good idea.
Yeah. Maybe an idea for another episode.
I'm gonna have to make a bunch of signs and stick them all over the house first, though. Not the next episode, maybe a few episodes down the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, well, any other tips, tricks you have?
I'm sure there are some things we're not thinking of, but this is a lot. I hate to overwhelm everyone with some of the things, and hopefully a lot of this is either common sense or things that you would do anyway. But also I hope you learned something from this episode and learn, maybe something that helps set your mind at ease a little bit, or helps you feel validated in decisions that you make at
Yeah,
home to keep your own kids safe.
yeah, and I'll add, you know, these are things that have been put in place over time,
Mm-hmm.
and they are things that evolve and continually evolve over time,
Yes.
right? Like Eli figuring out how to open windows, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's like, and whatever, and go into it knowing that whatever you do, more than likely you're going to have to change at some point as your child gets taller or stronger or figures out
Yes.
something. Um, but man, do it for safety and, like I said earlier, peace of mind,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Peace of mind.
for the most part, I can go to bed at night once the boys are locked in their rooms, which I know sounds really bad, but once the boys are locked in their room, I can go to bed and not worry that anything is going to happen.
Yes.
Usually,
Yeah. Yeah. Except
so
maybe some poop smearing.
yes, that's okay. So that's another tip. Eric goes to bed with a zip up onesie backwards
Yes.
every night for that exact reason. And they are onesies that have no feet, and it's not stretchy material, because
Yes.
it's stretchy. You can grab it, you can rip it.
Yeah.
It's incredibly strong.
We'll see if we can find some links to those too, because I
Yeah.
know I found it difficult to find Avery's size as he gets bigger.
Mhm.
It's difficult to find them either without feet or that are quality, especially with him chewing through shirts that are a quality that he won't destroy overnight, because the last 2 sets of pajamas I've bought, he's chewed through
Mm.
overnight.
Yeah. I mean, you know, not sponsoring like that, but we've had pretty good luck with I think they're called like Cat and Jack from Target or something like that.
Hmm.
Because I mean, Eric, I mean, Avery is small, yes. Eric is small for his age too. I
Yeah.
mean, he's going to be so weird. He's going to be 12 in a month. But he's got to be like, he's like 58 pounds, and
Probably wears a 7, 8 and little boys.
um, he can still, I mean, yes, but he can still comfortably fit into a 6T onesie also.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Tiny.
and is still wearing 560 pull-ups.
Hmm.
So, um, so yeah, I mean, if you found value in any of these tips and tricks, or you think we're totally off the wall, especially with locking our kids, and well, me locking my kids in their rooms at
Yeah,
night.
please don't call Child Protective Services. We're only sharing this because we want to give tips.
That's right. That's right. And my developmental pediatrician thought it was a great idea, because in her exact words were something along the lines of, "You got to do whatever keeps your child safe."
Absolutely. You do.
So
And you have to do things that help you preserve mental energy. Because as parents who are on high alert all the
all the
time, your
time.
mental energy is precious. So, I won't say what I was thinking, but it was somewhere along the lines of F the haters.
Of
Um,
what?
F the haters.
Oh,
But
well, we checked the box to say this video is not for kids on YouTube, so you can say the real
oh,
thing.
okay. Well, anyway, just a lot of you know that you develop tough skin as a special needs parent, and you have to, but do what's necessary within reason. And if you're not sure if what you're doing is within reason, bounce ideas off other special needs parents, bounce ideas off of us, because we're here to support you. We're here to help. We're never going to recommend that you duct tape a diaper to a child or something ridiculous like that. I only mention that because that's happened in foster care before.
Someone suggested that?
No, someone did that.
Oh, wow.
But you know, if you're nervous about what you're thinking or you're not finding what you're looking for, reach out. Please reach out. We're not the experts, but I'd like to think that we would never do anything to intentionally hurt our children
Never.
or damage something. So, you know,
Yeah.
we want you as caregivers to be happy and healthy and as stress free as possible, and we want your kids to be safe.
Yeah. And I mean, yes, you can reach out to us, but you know, you can also go on the Struggleless Family Facebook page where there's other parents
Absolutely.
and ask them for their opinions or bounce ideas off them too.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that's another resource that's available to everybody.
Yep.
So,
And as a quick reminder before we wrap, don't forget we do have an in-person meetup coming up in July 19th at Brushy Creek Lake Park. And we hope to see, yeah, I got that right. I know you're
I
thinking
don't
of
know.
it.
I wasn't sure. I was trying to remember now.
There's a splash pad. There are playgrounds for bigger kids and littles. I'd like to think that we're going to occupy the splash pad, but come on out. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, 10 a.m. to noon. And if you, again, another plug for our Facebook page, since Father's Day was yesterday, I have a post of the kids there where you can see some pictures of the areas and stuff that they did too. So
Yeah. And as always, thanks for riding the bus with us.
there's always a seat for you here.
Yep. And we will see
See
y'all
y'all
next
next time.
time.